Hi, this is Jacqueline here with the Grow Program. Thank you for growing with me on today. Someone once said to me, a piece of man is better than no man. And I used to believe that. I used to believe that I could just, or I should just settle for a piece of a man who don't even want anything better for himself and is not trying to do better, but just carrying me through as he going through, taking me along for his twisted up dreams. And I'm going along with it for a piece of a man. But I wasn't a piece of a woman. I was a whole woman, giving my all into love, putting my all there for love, for you, to show you that I'm there for you. Yeah, I was a ride or die. I'm about to die with you in the spiritual warfare. You about to take me down there. You carrying me down with you. You taking everything I own with me, taking me and my kids through. We all going through, just because of you and your twisted up dreams, because you are a piece of a man. I'm not a piece of a woman. I'm a whole woman, and I'm a true woman. I'm a woman in God. Ain't nothing weak about me. You spell woman, capital W-O, capital M-A-N. I'm not weak at all. I am strong. I am strong, and I'm going to carry on. I'm going to grow on. See, God has taught me that there's no such thing as a piece of me. I'm a whole me, and this is how God created me. And I'm proud to be me. I'm happy to be dark. I'm happy to be the way that God made me. I truly am. And what I want you to know is to be happy with how God made you, however God made you. However your skin look, that's you. Be proud to be you. You supposed to be, because that's how you made. But the thing of it is, you ain't supposed to think that you over me. You ain't supposed to think that you different than me. See, we all one love. Here, let me tell you something. Somebody told me to deliver this message. We are all one love, one skin, one God, another mother, but one God, the same Father, our Father God, who created us. So we all the same, we all the same. As a matter of fact, we so much alike, even though we look different on the outside. Listen to this. We so much alike. Guess what? You can use my blood. You can use my heart, my kidneys, my liver, my anything. They can transplant my lungs into your lungs. You can breathe with them and walk on. Then what? You gonna still hate me even though you got my lungs inside of you, huh? Is that how you feel about me? No, that ain't how you gonna feel then. You gonna feel a little different then, my friend. See, because you don't know who lungs you get. You don't know who blood you get when you go down to get a transfer, a transplant, or whatever you're going to go get. I'm telling you, honey, but that's how much we are alike. See, so we got to stop with this foolishness. It's white power, black power. I'm going to tell you something. It's all power. It's all power in us. I'm telling you, it is what it is, but it ain't going to be. We going to rise from the dust. We going to grow over the oppression that's all around us. I'm going to tell you something. It's time out for foolishness. It's just time out for it. And I ain't the one with it. I'm going to tell you like it is, honey. Look, it's sad that the spiritual warfare that I deal with now, out of everything else that I've dealt with, this saddened me to my core. It really hurted me to know that this man over here got a woman and he's standing outside my house with his thing out. And he knew I was coming outside. He heard me coming around the corner. And he didn't even try to run or hide or duck or nothing. I had my grandson. And he turned around and still stood there as I'm getting in my car. And I didn't tell the police this, but she was out there too. And she took off running and laughing like it was something funny. That's nothing funny. When you have children around, this is not your house. You don't just live here. This is, you upside my house, outside my window, peeing. You could have went around there next door to your house and pee. Your house is right there, feet away, but you want to pee over here. Okay, well, I got a message for you. I'm going to tell you something. you're going to get the breakthrough, because you're going to get it one way or another. You want it the good way or you want it the bad way. See, now I'm going to show you some love. Because see, now we done documented. I don't let them know that what you over here doing, So next time anything come up, here we grow. We going to grow in God. I'm going to show you some real love. Out of everything I done been with, and been around, now to come and deal with this. But I'm going to tell you something, honey. I'm strong. I done got through a lot of things. I'm going to get through this too. And we going to come away from here. Because, matter of fact, I'm leaving the lighthouse in a couple of months. And I'll be moving away from here. And I just hold on to God. And I grow on each and every day. I grow in God for a better way. And I told her yesterday, because she was outside and saying that wasn't none of my husband. Yes, it was. I looked him dead in the face. He looked at me and made sure I seen him, and then when I went and got in the car, he's standing there, just doing his head back and forth like he dancing, still standing there holding his thing, and so that was him, and she took out running, laughing, and I told her yesterday, look here. I don't bother nobody. I don't want nobody bothering me. Just leave me alone. He's standing outside my window peeing, and you saw it, but you got a piece of a man. A woman lives here with kids, and you think that's funny. A piece of a man. So you want to be a piece of a woman. We better than that, queens. We need to rise from that. We need to grow from that. You see where he wrong, honey, you supposed to be there to correct him, straighten him up. Don't you stoop to his level, rise from his level. And if he want to stay on that level, then it's time for you to move on to another level. It's time for you to grow on, honey. It's time to leave him alone. Because see, what he going to do is keep on pulling you down too. And you going to lose everything. You going to lose it all, and because y'all going to be them fail for the slip and fall. It's coming up. It's going to keep coming. Just keep on dibbling and dabbling. Then, you're sticking your hand in the fire. And next thing you know, you're going to get burnt in the spiritual warfare, honey. But we growing over that. We growing over there. We going to keep on rising and growing. We going to link up, lock up, rise up. We ain't no piece of nothing. We are 100% whole in God. Whoever you are, however God created you on the outside, look on the inside. We are one love, one blood. It's one. One is blood, one is water. But I'm going to tell you something. God put them both together. They belong together. They just separated. The blood done thinned out a little bit. It done thinned out quite a bit. It done thinned out a whole lot. But I'm going to tell you something. It's still one love in the end, my friend. Still one love. We're going to grow over the oppression. We're going to rise up. We're going to link up, lock up, rise up, grow up in God, honey. It's time to grow. Greatness reached over oppression through wisdom, no matter what you're going through, no matter what's around you, no matter what's outside the lighthouse. Be the light that shines the light to show the path for others to grow, to show others the way to grow in God, how to rise up, honey. It's time to grow. Let's get together and feel all right. One love. One is lighter and one is darker. One love. Let's get together and feel all right. Evil took him out. Evil took him out because he was bringing forth the message. He was bringing forth the message of love. Anytime the freedom fighters, that's what they had to do, to get the breakthrough. They saw that evil was trying to get in the way. They rose up. Some of them got failed by the oppression. Some of them have been failed by the oppression, honey. And some of them are failed by their own oppression. Some of them still, I can't speak for all, but what I know is under the world that we're living in, we're all under oppression. The world is a great big ball of confusion. It was then, and as the freedom fighters came forth, the faces of the civil rights movement to push us forward, they would fail, one way or another. They tried, now they getting together, they coming together, and the evil is not so prevalent. The evil is relevant, but it ain't so prevalent. See, it ain't pushed out like it was. We drowning the evil out, and look, here come grow. They just don't know. Here come grow to help drown it out. I'm throwing seeds of love as far as I can, trying to dry the evil out and make the world great. Who wants to live by evil? No one. Who wants to grow by evil? We want to grow in love. We want to flock in love. We want to be like the birds be. We want to flock in love, and fly high to reach our greatness in God. As long as you got God in it, you gonna win it. Just keep putting God in it every day, not just on Sunday though. That's the thing. See, we got it backwards. We think we're just gonna have God on Sunday and Wednesday night, Bible study, usher night meeting, take him to the singles night, maybe. Some of them do, take them to the singles night, different thing. But look, we got to have God every day for the breakthrough, not just on a few days out of a week, then put God on the shelf. All right, God, see you later. I'm off in this battle, and lead God. We got the liquor store. We're going to use this. We're going to cope with this. We're going to rise with it. No, that ain't the way. That's going to get you on to some stinking thinking. Then you don't really say what you had to say. You don't really say what you was thinking. You don't really put it out there, that liquid truth. You're going to put it out there and let them know something. And that's the wrong way. We got to come in love. We can't come after we've done some drinking and stinking thinking. I know somebody who sat there, and I used to do it too, and she told me, she said, I just had to give me a drink and go think about it. But that's what we do, honey. Get there, sit there, and have a drink and think on it. And then have another one. There you go. You ready to get some stuff just jumping off. Look, I'm going to tell you something for real. And I'm really finna, I always keep it real with you, but I'm really finna keep it real with you. I didn't bother nobody. I did not go sit and drink. And just sit and drink. I ain't bothering you though, but you know I'm drinking. So you just ready to get it, you ready to say something just because you know I'm drinking. I didn't bother anyone, but when they said something, it was on and popping. There we go. That you wanted it to go there, so you said something. You should have left me alone. Oh, wait a minute, let me go back, because we going in God. And look, so I'm thinking I'm going back there for a minute. Okay, I'm about to go, honey. I'm telling you. It was like, when I tell you it was on and popping, see, that's why I don't do no drinking. I had to be in the right mind. I got to be on top of everything. I got to know what's going on. I got to know what I hear. I know what I hear, and what I see. And that's God saying, keep growing. God said, keep growing in me. So that's what I'm doing, growing in God. So each and every day for a better way. I'm going to keep on growing in God because it ain't no other way. I ain't turning back to the spiritual warfare because I know I almost got burnt. I almost lost my life. I was ready to let go. Forget this. They threw in the towel on me, honey. I threw it in too. I'm ready to go. I'm done. I'm done with this. I'm done with this where I'm ready to check out. I'm ready to check out, God. Okay, I said I'm ready to check out. God, did you hear me? I'm ready to check. I'm getting ready to go, God. I'm gone now. I'm gone. I'm stepping over. It's time to grow. It's time to sow. It's time to rise, just like that. I'm bagging up off God. It's time to grow. It's time to sow. It's time to rise. It's time to grow and grow some more. And so look, the voice of God, rose up. It was the queen, angrily rose up in me. And I could hear it just as sure. I'm telling you, God sends spiritual voices. God sends godly voices, the legacies that we have lost. Their spirit is not just resting and sleep. They ain't sleeping tired. They went from a physical death to a spiritual birth. So what you see over there sleeping is the body. You think that, okay, they gone down. They down. The dead don't know. No, they don't, because they don't know anymore. Those who in the ground, they don't know anymore. The physical them is no more, but it's another spiritual life that keeps on growing, keeps on going on. And it's evil spirits around us too, It's what you allow to use you. Allow God to use you. Do the right thing. Always do the right thing. Turn and do the right thing. Even if you done the wrong thing yesterday, just turn, do the right thing. But don't keep turning, because see, one day you'll get caught up in the midst of the turn. and be done fail for the slip and fall. See, that's why you don't want to play. You can't play that keep turning game. Just keep turning. Okay, but see, you just gotta say, okay, this is it. I'm gonna be a servant of righteousness. Either you gonna get on right or you gonna get left. I got the lead. I got the beat for me. Because see, in the end, that's who you gotta answer for. You gotta answer for you. Don't keep going through. We wasn't born to go through. We were born to be alive. We were born to rise. We were born to rise to reach our greatness. God got the best laid, best paved plans for you. Just keep growing in God for the breakthrough. Don't matter who you are, just keep growing in God. Keep striving to reach your greatness in God, because God is watching you. God is watching you. Just like when you pray, God already knows, And if you keep on growing in God, you're going to get your blessing. Just keep on growing in God and doing the right thing, turning and doing the right thing. Be a servant of righteousness. Serve the Lord. That's what I do every day, honey. Just serve the Lord. Just keep serving God, because I ain't going to serve evil. What would be the point of being here? To serve evil? No, I got to grow. I got to grow. I got to rise. I got to sow. I got to live for God. I'm not living for me. Being down here is not about me. Being down here is being about the world and lifting the world. So I'm going to continue to lift the world for God's kingdom building purposes. I'm going to keep doing what God put me here to do, His will. God's will shall be done on earth as it is in heaven. And I'm here for the world to get the breakthrough. We're going to keep growing in God each and every day. That's what we're going to do, And Bo, he knows, we're going to keep growing in God each and every day. We got to. I'm telling you, honey, we got to. Ain't no other way. Can't turn back to the spiritual warfare way, keep going, dibbling and dabbling, and jump in and jump out game, trying to duck the dodge ball. Don't want to get hit by that. That'll knock you out, get hit by that because you don't know how hard it's coming. It may come real hard. Sometimes it come and it throw like you, oh, that ain't nothing. But sometimes you just don't know. You get hit by that spiritual dodge ball, honey, it'll knock you out. Knock you up out of here. You're talking about winning space. Okay, you'll be seeing stars for real when you come up out of that and God pluck you up out of that. So, leave that. Ain't nobody got time for that. That's what she said. Ain't nobody got time for that. She thought it was a fire. She had to get up out of there. She thought it was some barbecue. So look, we got to grow in God for the breakthrough, and there go the barbecue, there go the blessings, there go all of that, there go the cold pop, there go everything. But look, otherwise it's going to be pop goes the weasel and the weasel goes pop. See, because what you dibbling and dabbling in is going to backfire on you. You better watch out, my friend. You ducking and dodging that spiritual warfare, trying to get that over there, trying to rise up on that. But look, let me tell you something. Pop goes the weasel and the weasel goes pop. It'll pop back on you and backfire there. So watch out there. Time to grow out the spiritual warfare over the oppression. Greatness reached over oppression through wisdom. I love you like that. Rise, kings and queens. Rise, kings and queens. I love you. Keep on keeping with the dream. Greatness reached over oppression through wisdom. Just say that through the day. Just say that. Grow. Greatness is, if they say something, try to take you there. Greatness reached over oppression through. Remember that. Just remember to carry God with you everywhere you go, for the breakthrough. I love you. Let's rise.